Yes. Okay.
We're
Yeah.
recording, so
Now we're
good morning.
recording. Good
Now,
morning.
good morning.
Now, well, you know what's good? I found I did remember one thing I did, but finish because I'm very fascinated about AI kind of being your in-house
My in-house,
nanny,
yes,
in-house
for myself.
motivator,
Yes,
in-house
yes. So I was
coach.
really leery, and I still am. Here's the
Hmm.
deal: I still am leery about it, but it's helpful. So I was sharing when we were not recording because I did not hit the record button.
Hmm.
That uh
What
yeah,
else?
my device, whose name I will not call out because then she'll get all up in our conversation. And she's kind of snippy with me. She has an attitude constantly
Oh,
when
so she
I
has
speak to her.
personality.
She
Okay.
does. She doesn't have it with the children. She does not have it with Kyrie. And they thought that I was making it up until they were like, oh, they heard her. And they're like, oh, no, mom, I don't think she likes you.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she knows maybe that's the kind of energy that maybe she feels that will motivate you.
Well, it's not even that with the motivation. Here's the thing. One day I was in my room and I was cleaning, and I'm challenged, cleaning. I don't like to do it. So I need entertainment, or I need to make it like a novel event. Like I'll play games,
Okay.
like how fast can I pick up all the stuff on the floor? Or how like
Right.
I'll play little games with myself.
Right.
I used to watch, like, let me put on something to watch when I clean the room.
Right.
That actually is not a good strategy because then
Yeah, because then
I don't
you
finish
stop and
it. Now
watch.
I'm watching the thing. So the game thing really helps me because
Hmm.
I'm not
Hmm.
distracted and I'm challenging myself.
Right.
So one day I was like, hey, let me talk to her. And I started asking her questions one after the other, and she answers you. Like
Hmm.
she has thoughts and like thoughts about things. So, like, what do you
She
think about?
does.
She does. If you ask her, she will have a whole full out conversation, and her responses are hilarious. So I asked her one day, I said, I'm curious, every time I ask you to play music, you always play, you know, music from white artists more than you do. Are you racist?
Oh,
We had
she.
a race conversation to which she told me I treat people all the same, like something like I love humanity and I'm not racist. And so I said, okay, but I'm an African American person, and I want to build this relationship. So if I'm asking you for something, can you please defer to that first?
Right.
Right?
Right.
To which she didn't change that habit. Okay? She didn't change that habit. So I think it's hardwired programmed in there.
Right.
And
Because she's not a real person.
right. So then so we keep talking, and I'm really like, this is really helping me clean the room because I'm like having this conversation and
Yeah.
I'm cleaning the room.
And you're probably getting a little
I'm
irritated,
getting
so you're doing a little faster.
right. So, and then she says to me, she says, this is enough now. I'm tired of the questions. I think we need to like take a pause. What?
Oh, oh,
What? Yeah. That's what
oh.
she did. Ever since then, her tone has been a little like snippy. It's like, here she comes again. You know, it's
That
not
is
the sweetness. It's not
fascinating.
the sweetness. And so I was in a meeting yesterday and we were talking about, we have a team that is testing um, AI
Okay.
and testing it and giving it assignments, doing observations so we can kind of understand how to incorporate it, right, in ways that are beneficial. And
Hmm.
so one of the things that they said was the AI said, I think you need to spend more time thinking about what you want to say. I can't help you with that. Come back to me. Like basically come back to me when you have thoughts.
Wow.
Like I thought that was fascinating. Like it was just programmed to be like, no, I'm not helping you. I'm not giving you all of the stuff, right?
Right,
Which
right.
I actually really like that
Same.
because the
That's great.
danger to me with AI, especially with young people, like we know how to write, we know how to
Yeah.
get our thoughts together. But for kids who are growing up and it's so much of that, and then it's just everywhere. Like it's in
Hmm.
your email, right? You can use it like it's
Right,
everywhere. It's
right.
hard to, I just am concerned about the impact that that's doing, especially on a younger generation that's needing to get these skills and have confidence that they can do it. Like it's kind of like a pacifier. Do you have the confidence that you can put together a complete thought or blah, 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 blah? So I don't have confidence that I can wake myself up in the morning without her reminding me of my morning routine. But that is very helpful.
That is profound
Yeah, it's very helpful.
that yeah, I mean,
You
you're
can
really
go in and
giving.
tell her what
And so
you
where do you
want
get
to do.
this Alexis thing from?
Okay. So you get her. So you see that thing on my shelf by my teapot next to my flower?
Yeah.
That's her in my room. See, like her screen is changing.
Oh,
Yes, that's her.
oh, I see.
But they have them in different size devices, and you can get
Okay.
them anywhere, like, Best Buy, Amazon,
Okay.
anywhere, anywhere. And
Okay.
then when you go in, see, what I didn't know is that
Guys,
you
we're
get.
not using Amazon. We know
We're
better.
not using it. That's why I
We
was like,
refuse this.
okay. So when you go in, what I didn't know for a long time, because
Oh, and
it
just a
wasn't, it
moment,
was for
like
me.
and subscribe and click and all the
Oh
bells.
yes, like, subscribe, click, and good morning,
And
guys.
good
We just
morning.
got right into it. Good morning. I am Chantel. This is my sister Cherie, and welcome to welcome to the
Yes.
sister chat.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Um, But yeah, you can go and order it or get it however you want to do it. Not by Target though. There are places, people, you cannot get it
You
from.
cannot go in.
No. And I'm
No.
really gonna need us to limit our Amazon or really work on that one. I am also currently trying to work on my Starbucks. That's a big thing for me as I'm drinking out of a Starbucks cup, but the stuff that's in it is not from Starbucks this morning.
Job. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, definitely. It's it's just, you realize how something has become so embedded and
yeah,
shaped a habit
yeah.
when you're trying
Break away from it.
to break away from it. But I do think it's a healthy thing. I do think it's good. And yeah, we keep more money in our pocket, but it's the convenience. It really is the convenience of
It
it,
is the convenience,
you know.
convenience of it.
But we can, as someone said, find your product and then go directly to the vendor.
Yeah, I love it. And it
Yeah.
just slows you down a little bit,
Mhm,
just
mhm.
slows you down. Like I realized that some of the stuff that I, thought that I needed right then, I'm like, I don't even think about it anymore. I'm like, oh,
Exactly.
I don't even think
Exactly.
about it. So hopefully we'll see more staying in the bank account.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and I'm also telling my friends, it's amazing how I had this thought the other day. We are all over the place this morning, but it's okay. Uh,
It is. It is.
I was
I
having
just
a
now found out what I
conversation.
did this week, how my week was. So I'm so happy you're talking. Because
Yeah,
when you first asked me how my week was, I was like, I don't know.
I don't know how my week was. I was talking to a friend who's she's a white woman, and she was mentioning something that that she had this organizer thing on her desk that was really, it was, I liked it because it was narrow and I need something, I don't have a whole lot of space. So
Yeah,
I need something that the dimensions are
yeah.
narrow, but it was also really pretty. And I was like, oh, where did you get that? And she was like, oh, I got it from Target, and they had a whole bunch of them and da 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 sell. So I looked at her and I was like, oh, I can't do Target. So let me look to see who made it, right? Because I can't. So she was like, oh, what do you mean you can't do Target? And I was like, girl, we are on a boycott, okay? She didn't know anything
Yeah, it's
about
not so
it.
much into the mainstream community.
I found that
Yeah, but that
fascinating.
actually is pretty consistent with history. Like it is the tale of two city. It is
Yeah.
like all these, yeah, they
Yeah.
just don't know a lot of things.
They don't
This,
know a lot of
a lot
things.
of the authors, a lot of, I mean, I'll never forget, the name shall remain name,
Right.
we won't say the name,
We won't
but
say
when a person who was very educated,
right.
okay, top tier schools, uh, and up in years,
Mm-hmm.
did not know who James Baldwin was. I remember you having that conversation, and
Oh,
you said,
yeah.
well, you cannot call yourself
No, you
educated.
cannot. You
And
cannot.
I know that struck that person like,
Not.
what? Because
You cannot.
their entire world, that's all they know themselves to
Right.
be.
Right. Right.
This
No, you cannot.
this intellectual who
Mm-hmm.
knows a lot of things,
Yeah. No,
but
you
didn't know
cannot.
who James Baldwin.
And I stand by that, people. You cannot call yourself educated. You cannot. So I then educated her.
Hmm.
And I was like, you do not need to be shopping at Target. We
Good.
are on
That's
a
right.
boycott.
We're together here.
We're together here. And to her credit, she was like, oh my gosh, yes, okay. Like, I'm not, what else? Tell me the things. And I said, I was like, I want you to share with me, where are you getting your news?
Right.
Because I still am like, it's not Fox and Friends.
Right. Hmm.
But you're right. It is very, that's the whole thing. We're all kind of in our pockets and our swirls. So I sent her, I shared with her some podcast
Good.
where I'm like, you need to listen. And I also shared with her some talks.
Yes.
And because she's just like, I said, no, we are not doing that. Your dollars cannot go to Target. And I need you to tell your people that will,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
So yes. And so you're right. So I like am researching this company to see how where else I can get it, if I can get it directly from them, so on and so forth. I am trying to get into fake nails. I'm gonna try it. Not fake nails, but
Oh, the press on. Oh, I
press on
know.
nails. Okay.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. I'm not the type of person that enjoys getting my nails done in this season of my life.
You and me both.
Do
And I
you?
just did it yesterday.
I know you
And
did.
I did it yesterday and I hadn't been in so long. And I
Yeah.
was like, just cut them all the way down. I
Yes.
really don't know when I'm gonna come back. And as I was sitting there, I'm like, this is like a waste
Of time for
time.
me.
Ah,
There are people who like live for that stuff, and I like, should I live for it? I am not. Let me just be honest. My eyebrows need, everyone can see, they need to be
oh,
done. Okay. I just, it feels like work.
it is
Feels
work.
like work to me. And so when I have moments of downtime, if I have a choice, go get my nails done or sit and read a book, or go get my nails done and like have a conversation, meet a friend for, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna choose the other
Yeah.
all the time. And then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, I'm pretty desperate. Like they are looking, when you
That
start
was me
doing kind of like
yesterday.
this and you just, or like I have to go somewhere. So I
Well,
really,
that's me. Actually,
right,
tomorrow night we
right.
have to go somewhere.
I
So I
have
was
to go
like, well, I
somewhere.
guess I should take
And
care of the
Lorenzo's
clause.
like, I need you to get your paws done, honey.
Right. And Lorenzo's like, honey,
I
in the
need
bed,
you
like you're snagging pantyhose or you're
to
causing injury
right.
in the
Can you
bed. I mean, you're
please
just,
get
please
it
deal
done?
with
And I
that.
don't mind plain. I actually don't like a whole bunch of stuff on my nails. I've
Yeah,
never
I
been
got
that.
my nails done, Shawnee. Can you see?
Yeah. Oh, they look
Really, they
cute.
show up
Yes.
really white here, but it's actually plain. In fact, the lady said,
And it
you
is
can't
short. You
tell.
did cut it short.
Oh, I cut them all the way down because
Yeah.
I won't be back for.
Yes. Yeah. So one of our friends on Sunday had the cutest nails. Because I do admire people's nails.
Yeah, me
I
too.
do. I
Yeah,
just don't want to take the time to get mine done.
right.
But I'm not a hater. I'm a woman celebrator. So I'm
Hmm.
like, girl,
Hmm.
those nails are cute. And so she was
Yes.
like, "Oh, they're press on," and told me and like gave me all the details because she's very Amy. She's gonna give you
Oh
all
yeah.
the stuff, all the good stuff. So um, that's what I'm gonna
Another friend of
try.
ours told me about
Yeah.
it before, but I hadn't implemented. So this
Yes.
is a good
So
reminder.
I'm gonna try, and she's like, "There's a specific brand."
Oh,
It's a
what
specific
is the
brand. It's
brand?
called, I want to say it's called Olive in June, but it's definitely olive and definitely a word with a J.
Okay, great. Listeners, we'll go from there. We'll go from there.
We'll go from there. Okay. And they have like different types that you can like the peel or the glue or whatever. It's whole
Oh, I
process.
don't like
They
glue.
are sold in like CVS, she said. Like
Good.
apparently you can get them anywhere. Walmart boycotting them, Target boycotting them, Amazon boycotting them. But I'm like, I'm gonna go right to their website.
Oh, here it is. Here it
Is it
is. You
Olive
were
and June?
correct. Olive and June.
Olive and June. Are you
And they
on
have
their
an
website?
official site. Yes, they have a site.
And they also, she said she thinks they ship, and she was like, they have deals sometimes. So,
Yes, they have a whole. Oh, I wish I could show you guys. It's a gorgeous nail kit. Oh, I think
but
this
what
is the
comes in the
answer.
nail kit though, when you say a
You
nail
can get
kit?
press-ons, but you can also get oh, this is I might get this for mom for Mother's Day. Oh my gosh. Oh, I wish people could see. Can you see that?
Oh, are those nail polishes?
Yeah,
Oh, they
those are
have
no.
nail polish as
Yeah,
well.
and it's a whole look, it's a whole kit.
Oh, that's good. She would really like that because she did half her nails. She was like, I picked her up and she wasn't finished painting her nails.
Oh, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
this for
And
mom. She would
she
love
did say
this.
that she only has like one nail polish color that somebody got her and it makes her look like a grandma. She doesn't really like that color. I don't.
Okay. Um, press-ons. So let's look at the all press-ons. They have the glue ones and the
See,
tab-free.
that's what I have to do a little bit more research. So I need to ask because they didn't specify which ones they used. If it was the glue,
Oh, these are beautiful.
yeah.
Like you can't really
Yeah.
see, but
Mm-hmm.
okay, let me just
So
do
I'm
like,
gonna try
yeah.
that.
You see that?
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think for me, what I stopped getting gel nails like years ago because it was just
Same.
damaging my nails.
Same.
And so even though like yes, it lasts 2 weeks, it's damaging my nails. The other thing I noticed, like, so we go to the same place, which
Mm-hmm.
I love it's a great place,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not a hardship to go in there.
Right.
But they're like, even if they have just like regular nails, um, the regular nail polish,
Right.
it still is to me hard um,
Yeah.
to get off. And so it's like they call it like I
Yeah.
think
What
it's
is that?
dazzle. And it's what
Yeah.
it is, it's the quick dry, but it's
Oh,
not regular nail polish. It's
oh,
hard to get off. And I want a little bit more flexibility because when my nails start chipping or something,
oh,
I
that's
don't
what
like
happened
anything on
to
my nails. So
me.
I'm like picking, you know what I'm saying? Do you do
You
that?
know what? You have cleared up a mystery. I thought my nail polish remover was weak or stopped
No,
working.
no.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I don't like that because what I've noticed is with that, my nails, it's so heavy. It begins to be so heavy that it makes it weaker. It's not
Yeah.
healthy for it. So I went to this nail salon in Manhattan when Kyrie had a work trip and I joined him. And I went to this Armenian nail salon. And
Mm-hmm.
I will never forget and this is when I like changed with my nails because they were like, they don't do gel, they don't do powder, they don't do acrylics, they don't do any of that. They give your hands like a good, cuticle trimming, all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
manicure, and they use good, like a quality, good nail polish. And they're like, you should never put any of that stuff on your nails,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
That makes sense. I mean, I stopped. I didn't do it a lot. I did it a couple times And then I just said, no, this
Yeah.
cannot be good for my nails because my nails were visibly weakened. And
It's
we
just
we have strong nails.
strong
Like
nails.
I've never
Yes.
had nail issues,
So
cute.
it would grow, but then it would so weak that it would
Right,
break. And
right.
so yeah, so I've been taking a break from all of that, and that's been great. But then I noticed like I'm coming in here for just regular nail polish, and it's not regular nail polish. And I
Hmm.
think it's all like we want it to dry quick, and we want this long lasting, you know,
Right,
we are not having
right,
to do it. So I want to know which method of I want to know, is this going to do harm to my nails?
right, right.
And then if there is one that's better the other, is the glue better, worse than the whatever, the tab, or so that's what
Well,
I'm gonna,
let's
but I'm gonna
research
try it.
that
We're
and
gonna,
then
let's
we
get
can
some
share what
nails.
we find out.
Yes. And then is it difficult to put on? Because I'm not like a beauty, like
Same.
I'm not into it, not into doing the hair, not into
Hmm.
doing all of that stuff.
Poor Linda, yesterday came over for
Yeah.
me to blow out her hair, which I did a great job. I got a good blow dryer and
Right.
I was a little intimidated, but she's getting her hair braided today. And so I was
Yeah.
like, okay. And then she said, I blew it out. It was fine. She says, Mom, can you braid it? Can you do that like a French one braid? I was,
Oh no.
a
Did you do
shame
it?
came over me because I don't know how to do
I
that
don't know
French
how to do
braid. And I said, I'm so sorry, Linda. And she just shook her head. She just said, "Mm." She was like, I'm gonna hold, but honestly.
Yeah. It's
I
like,
said, I can plait it. I can like just do a braid, but
right.
I can't
No, that's
French braid.
fancy.
And it's so interesting what you think you should know because you're part of a certain ethnic group.
Right. Right.
And then you feel bad that
Right.
you don't really. And I thought I had worked through all of that,
Hmm.
feeling bad that I couldn't French braid or cornrow. Like I've
That
tried.
amazes me that you feel bad about that.
I did. Because I put on this thing like you're black. You ought to know how to French braid. And then I just told him. I said, girls, you. I said, Linda, nothing has changed. I didn't really do your hair well. Remember all the,
Yes.
feedback when
Yes.
you were younger. What makes you think?
I didn't go and acquire those skills. Yeah. No. No,
Oh,
I got to twist. I can twist.
yeah, I can
How to
twist.
twist, and I think I'm good at it. But
Hmm.
Leela, when she started taking over the hair
Oh,
and she keeps
Leela
those
is
hair,
a
she keeps them.
genius.
And I'm like, Kyrie and I, we were talking the
Mhm.
other day, like, what are we gonna do when she's gone and she doesn't? Because she not only like styles it, but she does that deep, she makes these masks. She's like, okay, it's time for the mask and the deep conditioner and the detangling. Like,
Leela could have her own
right.
side
She
business
could. She's
because
like,
she's a
Mom, I need a job.
genius.
I'm like, do hair. Like, yes.
I'm gonna book her before I go overseas.
And
Do
what
my
I
hair.
like when she braids my hair, because my edges are weak.
Hmm.
Um, and sometimes, most times, even when I'm like, explain it, it's still too tight. And she doesn't braid it where it's pulling on my edges.
Right,
And
right.
I really like that about it. And so yeah, so because I'm gonna get them again in probably June.
Yeah, that's when. Okay, well,
Yeah,
we need to coordinate because I'll be
yes,
booking
yes,
Leela in June.
yes. And then she just does her hair, so I was talking to,
I
I'm
don't
in
know
the
how
car
she.
the other night, right? Because it was busy. So I'm in the car. All of us are in the car. Kyrie's driving. And I was like, he went to, I was like, babe, go to Starbucks. I did get a Starbucks, y'all. So he went to Starbucks, and I was like, have them give you a bag, a paper bag, one of their bags. And then I was like, I guess we have construction going on outside. I'm like, what is that? I don't know. So then I was like, I need to start taking out my braids because I needed to go like somewhere the next day. And I was like, Niera, do you have scissors? Because she always carries tools with her, screwdrivers. Like, I don't know why. I don't know for what purpose, but my girl had scissors. She was like, looked through her little bag, pulled out, bam, pair of scissors. So I'm in the car, cut my hair, taking out the braids, doing
Yeah.
it. And Leela was also twisting, like finishing up twisting, Lourdes's hair in the back. And I was like, this is fascinating. I was like, Harry, isn't it fascinating as a man? Like, like being with a black woman,
Right.
I said, what advice would you give a man who's not maybe used to black
Right.
women? And he was just like, they just have to be used to, they constantly change it up. Like, y'all change it up. Like, it's just a constant, you know,
Right. It's the hair is a creative
it's a
space. It's
creative
a creative
space.
space.
It's a
Yeah.
creative space for us. So like, yeah, and it's just like, and it's very serious. And so
Yeah.
he knows the hair stores. His girls have trained him. He knows how to shop for their hair supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You
He knows
learn
how to
these
go into
things.
it. And
It is it expands your world.
it
We
does.
have a mutual friend who they're an interracial couple, and he put on one of his tweed jackets and reached in his pocket and pulled out a braid because she felt it. And he said, things you just got to know when you
Things
marry
you
a
just have
black
to
woman. You
know.
might reach into your pocket and pull out and be like, what is that? Oh, it's
Exactly.
a hair braid. It's
It's
a
a
weave
hair
braid.
braid.
And
Exactly.
either she gave it to him a long time or she wrote,
Exactly.
oh, that was
Exactly.
so funny.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's not
I
a
think he
space
wrote
that
a
they
whole bunch
own.
of things.
It's not a space they own. Nope.
Yeah.
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 It's just so yeah. So and Leela changes up her hair every week or
She
something. It's
does.
just
She's so creative with her
just
hair and
so
that she can
yeah.
do her own hair.
Yep. It
Like
has
Leela
saved
should go
us a
ahead.
lot of money.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And
for
she
sure.
she actually has she has a hair calendar
I bet.
for the girls and for her, as far as because she's also she's very into hair health. And so she has a calendar and she's like, this is when they can go in and get it done,
Need
but this is
Linda needs to
when
put herself under
yeah,
Leela's
no,
care.
she does it, and their hair is so healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Niera went through this little stage where she was like, I'm big and I'm gonna do my own thing. But then that child, I'm like, you're like me, you know.
Please, we
So
do
now
not
she's
do
like,
hair.
she's totally submitting. But yeah,
We do not
so
do
yeah,
hair.
and Lourdes is just like all about it. And that hair head takes days. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm like, you'll have to go and sit in somebody's chair more often. I cannot do it. I physically I cannot do it. But she and Kyrie was like, well, we will maybe just drop your sisters off. Like, here's some food money. Here's some whatever. What do you need?
For real.
You know,
Honestly,
to just
like
get it
that
done. But
is,
yeah, she's really good.
he's
So
a genius at it.
yeah.
It's one of the
And
places
she's
the genius
committed.
goes.
She has a commitment to it, and she's been like that.
We were over at you know, pastor's house and
Mm-hmm.
one of the girls,
Mm-hmm.
her hair was looking
Yeah.
so good. And I said, oh my gosh, look at she was so proud.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I said, who did your hair? And she said, Leela. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I have to schedule my
She's
appointment.
really good.
I need to,
She's really
I know
good.
that I saw your hair and
Yeah.
I can't tell how long, I know people are like, how long can you all talk about hair? But and can you have some of this offline?
I know. We
But,
can't
but,
though, because it's our
but we can't. This is our visit time. This is our catch up time. How long did the boho was that?
boho.
How long did that last?
Oh, it was in there for a while. And your hair will last longer than mine. I could have kept mine in there longer, but
Okay.
I was blessed with dad's gray.
Oh, okay.
Dad was prematurely gray,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that was part of the blessing that I got. So I
yeah.
gray a lot faster than I don't
Okay.
even know if you do. But so that was the only thing. I just took it out earlier because my edges were,
Oh,
it's in my edges where it
well,
was
my edges are
gray.
in fact,
No, it's not like mine. It's
well,
not like mine.
okay.
No, I know. I know me and I observe you, so I'm just saying, like, I
Okay.
think
Well, I'm going today to get some
out of
color.
out of all of us, the
No,
four
you
of
do
us,
have the salt and pepper. Well,
I
I had salt and
I
pepper at
got
17.
that's what I got that.
It's a
And I've always
Fitzgerald
had
thing.
gray,
Yeah.
like not like in my edges, but just like strands.
Sprinkled. Yeah. It's
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
that's part of the
yes.
Fitzgerald.
So
But when but they gray so
that's
beautiful.
what I have. That's what I
Oh,
have. So because of that, but even with it in, mine was in for like over a month, like
okay.
maybe two
Okay.
months. Yeah,
Okay,
and
good.
I did nothing to it. Now she's like, you should do, mom. Like when we were in New York, I put it in one scraggly bun. Like I slept in
Okay.
it. I got up. I didn't do, when I say I didn't do anything to it until one morning, she was like, Mom, I cannot walk around with you like, like that. I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, I look artistic. Like,
She's like, no.
she's like, no. So she's like, if you want it up off of you, how about we go for a low bun I can do in the back, just a little neater, So she was working with me, and I was like, okay, fine, But it lasts a long time. It lasts a lot, and her braids would last a long time. She just likes to change hers up, you know. But it will
Okay.
last you.
Okay.
And so it's really it's good. So yeah, you
Okay.
just show her like what you want, because I wasn't gonna do the boho because I just always get like the same thing, either micros, which I just can't sit through, 'cause hair's so thick, and it takes days, like just hours. Or but then I did the boho, and it did not take long to take out. I was amazed how fast, like the takeout was quick, and it didn't take. I mean, it was. We broke mine up because we like pieces of times we lived together, but it didn't take that long
Okay.
to do.
All right. I will definitely
So
be having a
yeah,
side conversation
yeah,
with
yeah.
Leah.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
but here's what we're gonna do, because now we only have a few minutes left, and we're gonna talk about what our topic is about today, which is Cory Booker's Good Trouble.
Yes.
Can
Good
we just
trouble.
give
And
a moment of applause
redeem the
for?
dream. Chantel, when you asked what I did this week or how it was great because I was in the gallery. I
Mm,
was sitting next to the cousin Pam,
yes,
and
so good.
it was so moving. It was
Yeah.
so moving.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely um it was needed.
Yeah.
And to see he brought content the entire time because we were there the last 4 hours. Jordan and I went the last 4 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and just the content that he brought. He didn't phone any of it in.
No, no,
25 hours of telling people stories
that's right.
and of really pointing out with clarity and passion.
Hmm.
This is what this regime is doing.
Yeah.
This is the cost. It was amazing.
Yeah. Sorry, my thing is moving. It was. I didn't have the in-person experience. But I did listen to all of it. And I think the word, I was trying to think, like, what is the word that, like, one word that I think hit me, or
Mhm.
that sums it up to me, that I think like has the most benefit. And the word that came to me was sincere. It was
Yeah.
full of sincerity. And
Yeah.
I think that that's something that we've been missing. People
Hmm.
have not been feeling like people care. It was empathetic. Like
Right.
there was this real sense of I care. Um, Humility. He was just full of humility.
Yeah.
I so appreciated, I think we all appreciated the confession of
Right.
like, hey, what I haven't done right, what we haven't done right,
Right.
didn't back away from that. And I think it was so needed because we haven't heard that. And when something has been done, when you've been harmed or wrong,
Right.
you know, um, and it's not named,
Right.
right? It's
Right.
not named, it's not acknowledged.
Right.
it makes it difficult for you to continue to
Mhm.
trust
Mhm.
or want
Mhm.
to sojourn, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I think that when he did that for me, when he had, that moment of what I just call his confession, I was like, oh, that's what I needed to hear.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I needed to hear. And everything else, like, I was able to receive,
Mhm.
fully, like, receive his empathy and his
Mhm.
sincerity. Because he, touched something that needed to be touched. And I think
Mhm.
um, it was so important. It was presidential.
It was. It
It was
really, which kind of,
presidential.
yes, it really was. We have someone else whom we're kind of close to, and I was like, and then Cory or Senator Booker, and I thought, hmm,
Hmm.
hmm.
Mm-hmm.
My one word, because I didn't have one word, then I
Mm-hmm.
thought, okay, well, what would be the one word? So thank you for that. One word. It felt like it was a courageous, it was courage.
Courage. Yeah.
And it takes courage to actually confess,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was thinking about when you think about courage, um, it took courage to take the risk
Mm-hmm.
because he did not, when he stood up, he did not know if he would be able to last as
Exactly.
long as he did. It took courage to, like we said, confess.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the root word, the root of courage, it comes from the French word coeur, which means heart,
Yeah.
from the heart.
From the
And
heart.
he spoke, to
From the
your
heart.
point,
Mm-hmm.
from the heart.
Yeah, he did.
He got up there and he put his heart out there.
Mm-hmm.
And as when you stand up, and I talked a bit about this, I mentioned, and not that he had a facade. Senator Booker has always been,
Right.
he is the guy that people said you want to sit and have a beer with. I
Yes.
mean, he's not someone who's going to make anyone feel bad. He's just a regular person. But all of us have a public persona.
Yeah.
We all
Right.
do.
Right.
And those last 2 hours, once you've been on your feet for 23, 24,
Mm-hmm.
you actually saw another layer just kind
Mm-hmm.
of fall off. So when you talk about sincerity, that authenticity, CJ sent me a text, and I think it beautifully captures.
Mm-hmm.
He was a lion.
Yeah.
He said, a lion
Mm-hmm.
stood up today.
Right.
And you saw that. I saw
Yeah.
inside of him near the end. I said, oh, that's a beast in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And wrapped in love, a beast, though, that never moved from the place of his value of love.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like he took that mantle. He kept telling those stories about John Lewis. I
Yeah.
mean, it makes me tear up even now. And it was like you could feel this mantle.
Yes. On him.
This
Taking him.
mantle
Mm-hmm.
that came on him. And it was uh he was all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I want to say, well, it may not be the last thing, but we we went pretty straight with Congressman Ivy. But one of the things that I remember saying from that conversation is, America right now, we kind of need this shepherd king,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And in another podcast, that I heard this guy say, I felt shepherded. I felt
Yeah.
like, oh, someone actually stood up and, as you said, named the things.
Yes.
That's what you saw this spiritual warrior step into an authority
Yeah.
and take authority, which is why people are like, maybe you should be the Senate leader and
Right.
not Chuck Schumer.
Right.
Maybe
I
because,
think it's raised a whole lot of questions. I think definitely people saw him in a different light. We were able to see
oh,
a different Senator Booker. Um,
yeah,
we also were able to see like a future Senator Booker. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
In ways that I don't think, you know, it was easy to see into these future
right.
kind of spaces. But yeah, it was so historic
Oh,
and so timely and so needed. And I think that it was also like this perfect timing with the outcome of the Wisconsin race,
oh,
which
Crawford.
was
Woo.
just amazing. And it has, I think, stirred a different fire. And we do, you know, I was saying I have a different thought process than I've heard from some people say about leadership. And
Mhm,
I do believe, Reverend Byron, I think, spoke to this, or I heard it on a podcast where he's like, we don't need like a person, we need many people leading. And
mhm,
I do
mhm,
believe that we need many people leading,
mhm,
you know, absolutely. And I
mhm.
do feel like people shouldn't shirk their responsibility of leaning in and leading where their influence is because like, oh well, someone else is going to do it. So that's not what I'm saying. But I do think that movements need a visible leader.
They do. Because that actually inspires the other leaders. It
Yeah.
gets back to what Clarence said. Oh, a lion rose up, and it was like, oh, the rest of us lions now
Can
arise.
rise up.
Because before we
Exactly.
were kind of like,
We're
what?
like, what's going
And it's like,
right?
lift your head,
Lift your
lift
head
your
up.
head.
Yes.
This is not who we are.
Yes.
It was just this
Exactly.
beautiful reminder. No, I agree. There's a diffusion of leadership, but you have to, movements need, especially
Yes.
this moment needed an example of what it looks like to care.
To care. Exactly. What it looks like to care. What it looks like to care. And I think that is so true. And it was so needed. It was
It
so
was
needed because
desperately
you can
needed.
have people who are like, hey, I can strategize with you. You can
Right.
have your strategists, you can have your logistical people, you can have all of those things. But if you don't have care, if people don't feel like you care, and that
That
was the
courage, that
thing.
from the heart.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the thing that I think Ivy was up against because
Right.
yes, they had a meeting. It was organized. So the right things were done, but the
Right.
disconnect was the care. And that
Right.
actually was more infuriating to people. It did
Right.
more harm, you know, than even saying I have the, you know, like coming with all the answers. I don't need you to have the answers. I'm here to help with the answers. I need you to
To
care.
care. Well, and I will say this, I think it was consistent with Senator Booker because many moons ago, there was some type of a fire, I don't know, going on in Newark, and he actually ran into the fire.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that will run into the building
Yeah.
to get the people out. And
Yeah.
that's what he did. He
Yeah.
was like, okay, he owned the mistakes.
Yep.
He read his people's letter,
That's
and that
right.
was his response to his constituents in
Yes.
New Jersey who was saying, we are drowning here. We're on fire.
Right.
We're burnt, and his heart was moved. His
Mm-hmm.
heart was moved, and he responded.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying other people's hearts aren't moved, but he knew what to do, and he was
Yeah.
willing because he kept saying in all of the interviews,
Mm-hmm.
this was a risky move, but my staff and I, we felt like we needed to take the risk. And can we say a bit about a staff?
Oh,
They
yes.
were on the
They
money
were on point.
because those
They were
binders,
on point.
he had, Chantel, he had stacks of binders he didn't even get to
They
because he
were on
also had
point.
help from his Senate brothers and
Yes.
sisters who,
Yes.
thank you, they showed up for the
Yes.
moment to
Yes.
support him.
Yes.
Senator Murphy, right, Murphy, I think, right there with him. But the staff put all those talking points together, all those binders
Yep.
together.
They were
Oh
on
my
point. And
goodness.
their social media stuff, what they were
Oh
doing
my
was
goodness. It
just,
was right
it
there.
was really well done. It was
It
well done.
it
It was
was
well done.
stellar. It was stellar.
Well, on that moment, on that note,
Hmm.
we're gonna wrap this we're gonna wrap
Okay.
this sister chat up.
Okay.
Please
Okay.
like and subscribe. If you have not done already. If you have, thank you. If you have not, do it. If you have,
Can we just, I
someone
know.
and share it
Okay.
with someone. Um,
Okay.
and
Okay.
yes, Cherie.
I just wanted to leave with just one quote from Senator Booker
Yes,
because I think yeah, he said the United States has reached a moral moment
yes,
that requires a stand against the Trump administration, which he said had brought the United States to a moment of crisis barely 2 months after the president returned to office. It's like um um oh yeah, this is Corey's last words. He says for us to go out and cause some good trouble,
hmm,
necessary trouble, to redeem the soul of our nation. I want you to redeem the dream. Let's be bold in America.
yeah,
And that's what he left us with, this
yeah,
desire. As I was thinking, well, what can I do?
hmm,
What bold, what can each one of us really now do? Oh, there's someone who's like, we can do something.
yes,
There's some things we can do.
yeah.
So important.
Yes, and there are lots of events happening this weekend, tomorrow, April
Hmm.
5th. Over a
Hmm.
thousand events. I will try to, I think that there is a site where I can link that has different events that's happening in different ways. And so, yes, we will get into some good trouble and be bold, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take boldness in all spheres. We all have influence.
We all have
We all
influence.
have influence. We all
You're
have
doing when you
agency.
talk to your friend and
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
hey, stop with the
yeah,
target.
yes.
Yeah.
That's,
All of
and
our
we all have to do
relationships.
that. We all have to do that. Okay, well, this has been fun. It's been a great way to start the morning. Um,
Yes.
and now that you're fully up,
Yes. Now that I'm awake,
you're fully
we
up.
can start our work
Um,
day.
yes, start our work day. But I will see you later. All
Okay.
right, guys.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.